What up, Internet? Welcome to what's hopefully going to be the first of a set of actual proper What's Up Wednesdays. Sorry, just setting up my tripod. You guys know how I am. I'm not very efficient and I don't do things beforehand that I should have done beforehand. Instead, I leave it to the last minute. Why are you the wrong way? Sorry, don't mind the fingers. I just got to rotate that so it is actually useful. I need to actually prop you up, move you back. That's about as straight as we're gonna get it. Okay, first off, YouTube. We're getting back into doing the proper, yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what I got in my hand in a minute. Some of you might be like, oh, is that what I think it is? Yes, it is. I'm gonna show you why I love it and why it's cool. I just gotta make sure it's actually clean because I was eating while gaming with it last night, like the idiot that I am. So now it's all oily and greasy and I'm gonna have to clean it without it trying to turn on, which is quite the impossible task. That's like, how many days have I had it? Today will make a week, but I didn't really get to game with it for 3 days or so out of that week because I was visiting my sister, which I had fun and which I finally found what I wanted. It's cute. Which I'm going to get into in a bit too, as well. So first off is not Minecraft, is YouTube. YouTube will be getting back into full swing now. I am motivated to do this. I want to do this. My views have been starting to go up a little tiny bit again. They did take a little bit of a dip after I came back from the Philippines. Speaking of which, I keep saying I'm going to do this the next week, but I'm actually going to get up after, on starting Tuesday, I'm going to get up at 6 every morning. I'm going to come down here, work on them till noon when I know that I have my pills in my system, and then whatever else I need to do. Saturday I'm having a friend over and we're going to be working on something for like a collaboration. We're putting well, I've got to put some finishing touches on it after that, but I've got to do that all day tomorrow, so Trish, if you're watching this, I really would love to come, but I don't think I'm going to have the time to do it. Depending on what time Mom decides she's going. If she goes in the afternoon, I may have some time. But if she goes in the morning and decides she's going to stay most of the afternoon, and it might actually be a better idea that I just stay home, too. Because if Mom goes, she's going to be like, oh, let's go shopping, and then I'm going to see something I want. Then I'm going to buy it. And I am trying really, really hard to save up my money because this thing was expensive. So, yeah, we're going to be getting back into the swing of things. I don't know what the switch was for, no pun intended, switch was for me to actually get motivated to get back into it, but there was like a random switch and I've gone from being sat. You know what I think it is? I think it's a psychological thing. I have left one toenail of a nail polish from the Philippines and we're down to our last little flake. Like, for part of me is like sad about it, but I feel like since I went to the Philippines, like something in me has changed, and I think it's more of a cultural shock thingy that I wasn't expecting what I saw. So I will get back into the vlogs. I realize now in hindsight that I did not vlog very well for that, but I will be working on that Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday I will be getting the next week's set of stuff. I will let my friend who I am collaborating with know first, before I let you guys know, when that video will be up and done. And I'm going to be full throttle on that in the afternoons. So I will work on the vlogs till noon, and then I will work on the music stuff after. Wednesday will have to be my recording day for the rest of my YouTube stuff. But if I miss something for uploading, that will be why. I'm going to try to upload all the rest of the upcoming week's stuff beforehand, but no guarantees. I might actually have it doing that tomorrow while I work on those vlogs in the morning. So yeah, my week is booked. Same with my weekend. So that's that. The next thing I'm going to talk about, we're going to save the Nintendo Switch for later, which yes, that's what I have. I need to filter my thoughts. Is this fidget cube. Now, I don't think I have my purse down here. No, it's up in my room. I have a spinner. I also have ADHD. So, a lot of people think that these are distractions, and if you get the ones that click, like everywhere, yeah, it's a distraction. But they should make a silent fidget cube for kids with ADHD. This is a rip-off version, you can tell, because they're supposed to... What the cube is supposed to be, it's supposed to be a standard cube no matter where you go. There's supposed to be 2 silent buttons somewhere on this side. This side is supposed to imitate bubble wrap. So, I don't know where my mic is on this, but I'm sure you guys can hear it. Which means I have finally evicted the bubble wrap from my purse, because I have bubble wrap on my cube. Yes, I'm an adult and I carry around bubble wrap in my purse, or I used to carry around bubble wrap in my purse. ADHD is a real struggle, guys, okay? If you are diagnosed with ADHD and you're put on medication by an actual professional, I recommend you ask your doctor if your doctor's going to tell you that your child has ADHD. No, you tell them you want your child to be evaluated by a psychologist, a professional, first, and they will tell you whether or not your child has ADHD or not. Do not just go off the word of your doctor, and do not let your doctor decide on their own. That is if you're just getting diagnosed with it. Like if somebody says you have it or something like that, and then they're like, oh, go to your doctor, get checked, and you're just with your doctor, you're not with any kind of specialist. No. Even when I was younger, I'm pretty sure they sent me to a psychologist. I don't have very many young childhood memories that like come to mind just thinking about it with that stuff, other than being constantly tested in school to make sure that when I got my school laptop that it was worth it, that I still needed it, that, you know, all that wacky fun stuff. Which at the time in our school board, another kid beat me to it, but at the time I was the youngest in our school board to receive a laptop. And that's mostly because my dad fought for it, and I am glad that he did, because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten through grade school, let alone high school. So, this thing here is obviously mimicking a light switch. My niece likes light switches, so when she was getting fussy, I distracted her hesitantly with my cube, because I didn't want her to break it, but I also didn't want her to start screaming. This side, I don't really play with this side very much, but I'm sure there's someone who would like that. It's like a spinny thingy, or it's supposed to be a spinny thingy, but it doesn't work. I've already got like pen stains and just like my hands. And then there's the joystick, so for like gamers who are just sitting there like, I like to move my joysticks up and down and left and right and clicky clicky clicky, because you can click it. I like clicking it because then I can click something that's relatively silent. The other thing I like is the spinny ball, which is nice. And then there are these things, which I really don't like that much. They're okay. I mean, like, if I'm anxious, I kind of like them, but other than that, I really don't. Because then what I'll do when I'm anxious, what I've noticed is when I'm anxious, I'll just take it and I'll try to move it down by 1 and see how many clicks I can get. And then there's this smooth side for people who like to feel things. Now, sometimes I'm like that. Sometimes I will want to feel things just repetitively. I'm not sure if that's the Asperger's or the ADHD, but that's how that works. Trust me, this works. You want to know how I know this works? I tested it with the most impossible thing for me to do. It doesn't work with the Switch. It doesn't work with my phone, but it does work with television. The hardest thing for anybody with ADHD to do is sit still. Don't ask me why. I'll be recording and I'll still be fidgeting. I'll be, hold on, weird finger, why weird finger, why finger weird, why, see, exactly, and I lose my train of thought. Anyway, So I will be recording and you'll just hear the microphone bouncing and I won't realize it or whatever. Or you'll just hear clicking noises or something like that, or tapping on the desk. Ooh, a little bit gassy. That's the coffee right there. So I sat for 3 hours with this thing. Watched TV, looked at my phone for the time, maybe once after like the first, in between like the first and second hour at some point. And I didn't realize 3 hours had gone by until somebody said, oh, well, hey, can you help me do this or can you help me do that? And I'm just like, what? That cannot be 3 hours. Also, when you're watching Peppa Pig with a almost 2-year-old, this thing is a godsend. That child is obsessed. Not gonna blame her. Not gonna blame her. I'm obsessed with some things that I could sit and watch all day. Now, the fun part. This is a Nintendo Switch. I am not sponsored. I am not a big enough channel for it. But I will say this. A lot of my gaming systems are Nintendo. I have the DS. I have the old school Wii. I don't have the Wii U. I skipped that. Thank God, because that would have been a waste of money. And I now have the Nintendo Switch. If Nintendo made a computer, I would have bought their computer. If Nintendo would have made a television, I would have bought their television. Nintendo makes durable tech. And when you're ADHD, you're not always paying attention to everything. Well, you hear everything, but that doesn't mean you pay attention to everything. It's different, trust me. One of these days, after all these other planned projects are done, I will sit down, I will plan out a video, because I am not going to be able to do it without planning it, and I will give you a day in the life, or like a stimulant, like a thing for you guys to see what it's like inside my brain with the Asperger's ADHD brain. Which apparently they can, if I remember correctly from what the psychologist said, they can either be together a lot or misdiagnosed as one or the other. So yeah, that's why I recommend if your kid has ADHD, if the school doesn't already do the psychological reevaluation to make sure that they're still, if they're on the IEP, what I recommend is if you know your kid has something different about them, get them tested when they're small, see if they can get diagnosed with something, or if it's just fidgety, just childishness. Then get them tested again when they're a teenager, and then reevaluate when you're in your 20s or an adult or something. Because things like ADHD, you can grow out of the hyperactivity. That is a proven fact. It's just like with Down syndrome, how it's an extra chromosome. Some people who start out life with Down syndrome who can't talk when they're young grow and their brain learns to adapt to that a little bit, and then they can talk. It just takes them a little bit longer to learn. So, fun fact in case you did not know that, not everybody who has Down syndrome who can talk could talk when they started life out. It's because of the extra chromosome overwhelms their brain, thus Down syndrome. I believe. That's just summing it up. Don't quote me on that. Google it if you're actually curious about it, or YouTube it. Look it up on YouTube. That's usually what I'll do. I'll either Google something or I'll look it up on YouTube. But yeah. So, the big thing. The Nintendo Switch. I'm going to show you guys something. So, you've got... So the box comes with, I do not believe I uploaded the vlog for that day. The box comes with your console, the console part, so this big box part, comes with the dock, comes with an HDMI cable, which I don't believe I used. Did I? I don't think so. I think I just put it aside. I wish I would have known that it came with an HDMI cable, because that would have made life easier for me, and then I wouldn't have had to buy that other one. Saved myself like 20 bucks. Anyway, so yeah, it comes with an HDMI cable to hook into the back of your television. And then it comes with these two thingies here. Hold up, I gotta go grab the other stuff. Two of these, which are essentially this part, so the grippy thingy on the Wii remote. Two of these. And did I show you guys the controller yet? And the controller. So this thing. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, why is that, where's the controls? Well, the thing about the Nintendo Switch is they better hope it works out for them, like on a permanent basis, because if not, they are screwed over. Because this thing has just killed off their DS and the Wii. Both the Wii U and the Wii. The only thing that's Wii exclusive is Wii Fit and that butt board. Nintendo would be wise to have an adapter thingy that hooks up your Wii games to your Switch console. It would be wise. Either through USB or something like that. I don't know. But, I would show you the console, but it's all the way over there and I'm not unplugging it again. I've already done that twice. Now, the main feature of this thing, okay, so there's the screen. It's a little messy. That's my camera. But it is touchscreen, as well as it has some motion sensor. You can always buy these parts are replaceable, so you have to be careful with this part, which is why I'm going to keep it as mostly a home console. I have my DS still, and I have tons of games for that. So the thing is that it does lock into place. They're a little loose, mind you, but they do lock into place. You push this little button here, and you pull, and this part comes off. Now, the nice thing about this is, well, I don't have any games. This is the size of your screen approximately. So your screen is a little bigger. My phone's a bad example because it's got the thick case on it. It's not an OtterBox, but your screen is approximately a little bit bigger than a phone. And then it's got a nice little border around it, which is nice. Because then that means that if you scratch your screen, it's the areas that they say your screen gets scratched on by sticking it into the dock itself don't seem to me like they should be like a serious issue, if you ask me, because it's on that corner of that black border. The screen itself is supposed to be made of plastic, so it's durable, otherwise I wouldn't have flicked it. So it's supposed to be a durable system made for children. I would not trust a 2-year-old with this though, so... And they don't have any games for kids that age yet. I mean, like, they don't have anything like Sesame Street, which I think is more of like a 3-year-old. I feel like you shouldn't let your child touch a system, or like any electronics that or like gaming systems, till they understand the word no, and until they, like, you know that they're gonna listen to you. Now, I don't think you should expose a child to too much TV or electronic stuff at an early age, but I feel like maybe, for example, my niece, when she's 3, 4, or 5 preferably, or 4 at the earliest, because I don't want her to have an addiction like I do to technology. When she's around that age, if she comes over to my house and she wants to play something like Mario Kart, I'm keeping my Wii for that kind of stuff for when little kids come over, because we have a lot of families over a lot of the time. Well, that and one of my, well, technically I have 2 sisters, technically 1 biologically, and then 3 if you count my sister-in-law. So I don't know what she would be. Well, anyway, she just got married. So she will be having kids, hopefully. That's what they want down the line. So when her kids are older and they come over, then that's something that we can do. But that's the nice thing about Nintendo, is that it's durable. You can smack it, you can drop it, and it's very rare that it'll break. I am not doing any break tests. Okay, I do not have the money to replace the system. If they come up with a new system, mind you, the durability will probably degrade as time goes on. I will then decide, okay, maybe we can do a Smashy video, but we're not doing that with any of my technology, not yet. Especially not my old computer. My old computer has a bunch of storage stuff on it. I need to go through that. I need to decide what I want to put onto here. And I've got a lot of tech stuff I've got to do to get it all organized and in order. So, the nice thing about the Switch is that it's got this little plug-in, which when you plug it into the dock, it'll hook up through the HDMI cable into your TV. Or you can just plug in the charger through the bottom here, so you don't have to have a separate cable for charging. It's got a built-in fan, but I think it only turns on after a certain temperature or a certain amount of high definition or something like that. I don't know. I did not watch this guy's video thoroughly enough, apparently. So what you can do with this is you can either game like this on the side, so like this, or you can game with both of these together like this. These, I'm not going to slide it all the way on because I want to be able to get it off. Go on to here, like that. It's got an indicator. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Okay, there we go. If I can see it on the camera, then you guys can see it. It says this side is supposed to go with this side, but I don't think it really matters. And then these two buttons have like a little thing in there that moves, that pushes these two buttons here, which are your L and your R. I feel like what they should do is they should have it where you can use all the buttons if you want to attach it. Because like realistically what you could do, even though it's a little cumbersome to do so, is you could slide this stuff here. Yeah, I'll just have to work at it. You could slide this in, have this thing attached to your wrist. Of course. That's just my sister. Have this thing attached to your wrist. You could use all your buttons.
2, 2, 6, 7, 5, 0.
See, you can use all your buttons because you can do this finger up here. You can use these two down here. You can use your joystick and your arrows down here. Like you could still have your LR and whatever and still be able to game like this. Mind you, it is a little tiny, but they do also have, I didn't get them with the system. They don't come with that. That's like a bonus thing. I feel like somebody designed that after the fact and they probably would have included it if they didn't do so like that. Hold up. Hold up, I gotta get it off my wrist. But I'm also wasting the battery on my Joy-Cons right now trying to explain how this works. Come on, there we go. So that's that. As well as most of the time, both games that I have require the entirety of the entire system. So this little thing here comes with it. You only get one and you only get two of these. You can buy more. They do sell them individually. If I did get more, I would either get ones that were different colors if they came in other colors. I think what they should do is like a purple color or something like that. And then you have this nice gamepad. So it's got the same width that you would have with a regular gamepad. Now mind you, I have pretty big hands and sometimes I feel like it's a little small, especially considering my thumbs touch in the middle. And sometimes when you're playing driving games, you really don't need anything else but that. So that is that. As well as the fact that you have a game card slot. Well, the one that I have, the only game I have right now is Lego City for the game card. My system just turned on for me doing that. I'm going to reattach this. Already at 99%. Look at that. Yeah, this thing is a battery guzzler. So I'm going to need to get a, so you guys can watch this. So what I have right now is Lego City and Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition. Now what I'm hoping they do soon is they add mods. See, what it does is you can have the different controllers. Right now, it'll indicate in the corner here what your setup is. So this one is in mobile mode. Here, I'm just going to turn this back off. You can turn it off. It likes to default into sleep mode. You just have to hold the power button until you get an option menu. Along with that, it also, so when you're out and about, the one thing I don't like about the Switch, other than its clunkiness when you're holding it, is you can set this up and it'll stay. So that's good. But the downside is that your HDMI cable, or not cable, or micro SD card, goes into there. Your charger's on the bottom. So that's also a problem. So sometimes I find, even with this camera that I'm using, is when you're playing with your system, sometimes, or like when you're moving around with your camera, sometimes you'll bump it and then the SD card will dismount a little bit. I feel like that'll be a problem. I feel like they'll need to either make specific Nintendo micro SD cards that cover and lock into place, or they'll have to make some sort of like improvement to this, because these things will fall off. What you can do is, like, I'm pretty sure if you really wanted to, what they could do is they could make like a make this thinner or something like that, and then cover this, or like have a little thing that, I don't know, they'll figure it out. But I do recommend, when you're putting it in, part of the problem is that these corners somewhere here like to be scratched, one of the two. Put it up against the back. So this is the console. Put it up against the back and then slide it into its spot. I've heard that you can get scratches like right away, kind of thing, and so far doing it that way has helped save my Nintendo Switch, from what I can tell. I will let you guys know if that changes. Other than that, I believe I've covered upload schedule. I believe I've covered most of what I need to. And I believe I need to go actually bathe now. That's all you're gonna hear all week is, I need to go bathe. Oh, somebody's using the bathroom. I need to go bathe. Oh, I should probably finish this first. I need to go bathe. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Tonight will be Minecraft, and then tomorrow will be Don't Starve, which I still have to record, and The Forest, which I still have to record. And then I can do some slime ranchers, chicken, and that should be it. Because I only have one more Minecraft video to record, but I will do that after I bathe. So yeah, see you guys later. Bye-bye.